Well, here we are at the Wasatch Brew Pub. We're talking with filmmakers both from the Sundance Film Festival and Slamdance Film Festival, our good old friends from Slamdance who we have worked hand in glove with for many years. And Dan Miruish is with us. And Dan,
Hey.
you're one of the founders.
That's right, yeah.
Along with, who was the other founder?
Well, it depends who you ask, but generally speaking, we say Shane Kuhn and John Fitzgerald, and then Peter Baxter's been running it for years, and Paul Rackman, who's still involved as well.
Yeah.
So,
and you are still involved?
Yeah, still very much. I host the important events, which are of course, the sled off, the sledding competition down the hill and over the cliff, and then the hot tub summit, which we've had for the last 6 or 7 years.
Very important stuff for you to do that.
Absolutely.
But this is interesting. You now have a movie that you have directed yourself, entered in the festival that you founded.
That's right, yeah, strangely. Slamdance, our main competition is first-time directors with low budgets and no distribution, and that's our main competition, and that's most of what we show. But we always show a few, films out of competition, special screenings we call them, that are by alumni directors, other founders, friends of the festival, people that have been at Sundance, people like Steven Soderbergh or Alexander Rockwell. So this year it was sort of my turn. And my film had already been on the festival circuit. We played it. We finished it in September. We played at 14 festivals in 7 countries. Just won the Grand Jury Prize at the Bahamas International Film Festival. A little warmer than here.
Oh, that must have been nice to go to that.
Yeah,
Did you get to go to the Bahamas?
I did get to go to the Bahamas. It was horrible. And played all over Europe. And so for me, this is a real coming home, celebration of the film, because a lot of the casting and the crew, a lot of them we met in Park City over the years. So it's and in fact, there's even a scene in the movie with me with a character in a wheelchair in the snow, which is based on me being there was one year I was out here in a wheelchair because I'd broken my leg, and we did the sledding competition, and I thought, oh wow, this is a cool image of a guy in a wheelchair in the snow. I should use that sometime. And sure enough, I read this play, because Between Us is an adaptation of an off-Broadway play, and
of the same name.
The same name, yeah. And the movie stars Julia Stiles, Taye Diggs, Melissa George, and David Harbour. Nice
cast.
Very nice cast. Terrific actors who give amazing performances, and it's two couples yelling and throwing things at each other.
It sounds fun. Now, Barry, talk about your involvement. Barry Hennessy is with us also as a producing director of the film.
Producer?
Yeah, talk about your involvement and how you came aboard.
Yeah, well, I've known Dan now for almost 10 years. I line produced his last film, Open House, which is this great little independent musical about the real estate industry in Los Angeles.
And someone had to make a real estate musical, and it was us.
It was us, yeah, we did it. And
the world was begging for one.
Absolutely.
And about 5 years ago, he came to me with Between Us. And with Hans Ritter and Mike Ryan and Dana Altman, it's been like a labor of love for the past 5 years getting this film funded and made. It took us that long.
How do you, Dan Miruish, how do you get good actors like that to come aboard? Is it do you know them? Is it because of a good script? How did this happen?
You take embarrassing pictures of them somewhere and you blackmail them. No, in this case, it was very much the script. It was very much based on the play, and some of them knew the play. David Harbour was in the original play, and his agent was familiar with it. But it was the really strong, juicy, chew the scenery parts. And actors, especially when they've been, like Taye Diggs has been, he's done a lot of great stuff.
He's been around for a long time.
Yeah, but he's been doing private practice, and he doesn't get a lot of great meaty parts like this.
The female roles are really strong, and Julia was saying that she hasn't read a script with a female part that strong in a very long time. They're really juicy parts.
And then part of it is just availability. So when you're on a low budget, you set a start date, no matter how low your budget is. You set a start date, and then you just tell the actors and their agents and the managers, we're starting this date. And then inevitably you're going to get someone. So Julia, for example, was supposed to be in a Broadway play that had her booked out for 5 months. All of a sudden the financing for the play fell through and she became available. But there wasn't enough time for any Hollywood films to cast her at that time. But we were available, and we just swooped in, and 24 hours later she was in. So the trick is to find actresses at their most vulnerable emotional moments and just kind of swoop in.
And timing is kind of everything too, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
It is a feature-length film.
Yes.
It's a drama with comedy elements.
Yeah, or dark, very dark, very dark comedy.
People, a lot of physical stuff. People throwing things at each other.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, part of it is that when you adapt a play, people always say, "Well, how are you going to open it up and make it more?" But really, what they're saying is, "How are you going to make it more cinematic?" So the challenge was to do that in both time and place and action. And in the original play, half it takes place in a Midwestern house, and then they had their intermission, and then the second half was at a New York apartment 2 years later. But in the film, we could cross-cut those together and really edit back and forth and flash back and forth in time, and then also do things like have a scene of a guy in a wheelchair in the snow, and guys driving in a car, and things like that you just can't easily do in a play.
Between us, it's done very well at festivals around the country and the world.
An award-winning film. Yes.
Dan Miruish is the director, and you can see it at the Sundance Film Festival.
Exactly.
Coming up Sunday. Yeah?
Sunday at 5:40 p.m. at
Only
Slamdance.
one showing?
Only one showing. Well, we're saving most of the spots for the competition filmmakers.
And do you think? You would be hopeful, or has it been picked up by a major distributor?
Well, we've started to show it to distributors. A lot of them have seen it at the other festivals, but we haven't made a decision yet on those. We have offers in hand already, good offers, but probably after Park City or later in the week we may decide what to do, because there may still be, I think there still will be some distributors seeing it at the screening. So
Dan Miruish, one of the founders of the Slamdance Film Festival, and still the guy who runs the hot tub competition and the sledding.
The hot tub summit and the sled off.
Still runs that. It's a labor of love, isn't it?
Well, yeah. No, someone has to get in the hot tub.
Yeah. It's bad.
Him in a hot tub, I don't recommend that for many people, but it's a fun time.
Yeah, you guys got to do the show from the hot tub next time.
If you're not doing it Monday,
do it on Monday
down.
night. The hot tub summit is on Monday night.
All right.
Slamdance.
Dan Miruish and Barry Hennessy, thanks a lot for being with us. Good luck with the film, and we'll see it in a megaplex near us, or at Treasure Mountain Inn if you can get in.
Either way.
All right.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.